Howdy folks, welcome to Happy Trails Hiking. Kay and I are at the Boone Home in St. Charles County for some Christmas fun and some night photography.
Tonight we have a special event. It's their Christmas Candlelight tours, and so we're going to take a step back in time and learn a little bit of history about our area and the things that would have happened at Christmas time in St. Charles County during the 1800s.
Stay with us.
During this 4-day, weekends-only event at the historic Daniel Boone Home at Lindenwood Park, the buildings are opened, and each has a different vignette about the history of Christmas.
We represent soldiers who were in this area between 1763 and 1803. What he did was he sent several soldiers north, 35 of us or so, to St. Genevieve and St. Louis, and there we trained the French inhabitants of how to be a militia. Daniel Boone was well known during that time. He lived in Kentucky, and the Spanish gave him a land grant of 1,000 acres in this area where you are right now. And so he moved here with his son and some other families from Kentucky and lived here till he passed in 1820. But the Spanish did have customs that they brought to the Americas, and I'll tell you a little bit about where they started. They started over 800 years ago in Spain, and the Spanish parish priests, Spain was a Catholic country, wanted to know how they could tell the story of the Nativity to their townspeople when they didn't read, and the only time they came to church was on Sunday. So they devised a way of doing this called a novena. A novena is when they pray the rosary 9 days in a row. On the 9th night, they ended up their procession at the church for midnight mass. And so in this way they imparted that story of the Nativity, of Mary and Joseph coming from Nazareth to Bethlehem to try to find a place to stay.
My name is Mr. William Connolly.
Mine is Mr. Jack Anthony, proprietors of this establishment.
Yes, proprietors of the Sign of the Stag, merchants in the same.
Yes, indeed.
Of victuals, sundries, hardware, furniture, appliances, fine liquors, tobacco, etc. Quite frankly, whatever you may need or require in order to make your lives here, in the village, or in the surrounding community.
Indeed. And how may we be of assistance to you in your Christmas celebrations this year?
So what would you say is the most popular gift for women that we would find in your store if I wanted to buy something for my older sister or mother?
Oh, we have hairpins available. We have perfumes from France. We have pearls.
Wow, pearls.
Yes, pearls.
That's amazing.
Pardon?
It depends upon, of course, your budget. I mean,
Yes.
the finer things have somewhat finer prices. But dried flowers, which would make a nice gift for any lady in your life. It is a global world in which we live, and we are, in spite of how, in spite of the frontier upon which we live, we are so privileged to have access to the bounties of our shrinking world in this modern year of 1819.
Mm-hmm. Quite the truth. In fact, whenever Mr. Anthony and I receive a new catalog of goods that we may stock in our stores, we regularly will go down to the tavern, sit over an ale, and just marvel at some of the things that we can purchase to have in our stores available for sale to our customers. Everything from new farm equipment especially.
The country and the world have been at peace for 4 years now, so I mean, it's a time of prosperity. This is a new age, a new century in which we are living.
Yes.
What a delight to have visitors all the way out here on the frontier. My husband Daniel will be so pleased. There's nothing he enjoys more than entertaining guests.
I believe it was back in 1765. After my chair goes.
Well, I'd be glad to, John. It was late summer of 1765. Major John Field and some other acquaintances had just arrived from Virginia to my home in North Carolina. Now they were on their way to Florida to receive free land grants of 100 acres. It was a very promising offer and one I couldn't refuse. And soon thereafter, we were on a journey.
Yes, you must tell us, Colonel, did any of your family accompany you on that journey?
Well, yes, they did. My brother Squire and my brother-in-law John Stewart. But before I left, I promised my wife Rebecca that I would return for Christmas dinner with her and the children. Now, part of our route had so little game that we nearly perished from hunger.
Well, how did you find any nourishment?
But good fortune soon prevailed, and we came upon a band of friendly Seminole Indians, and they provided us with food and shelter.
Well, God bless them, Colonel, for their kindnesses towards you. They fed you venison and honey. Now, let's talk about shelter, shall we? I hear that you bought a town lot in Pensacola. Did you truly intend to bring your family down there to live?
Well, yes, John, those were my intentions, but not my wife, Rebecca. We nearly covered all of our expenses for the entire journey to Florida and back.
Oh, well done, Colonel. All it cost you to nearly starve to death was your time. Yes, thank you for laughing. And speaking of time, did you in fact get home in time for Christmas?
Well, when I knew I was close to home, I slowed my pace, so I would in fact arrive just in time for Christmas dinner.
Oh, so you did keep your promise.
Well, I made a promise and I intended to keep it. I came through the door of our cabin just as the family was sitting down for dinner. Now there was a nice warm fire burning, my children were singing, and there stood my wife Rebecca with a beautiful smile on her face.
Yes.
And it was indeed a very joyous time to be back home yet once again with my family.
Yes, that was a joyous time. That is a true story. And God blessed you that year and gave you the merriest of Christmases, did he not?
Yes, he did.
Well, I pray that God grant you again a Merry Christmas, you and your family. God bless you and Merry Christmas, Colonel.
And to you as well, John.
Old Christmas is about stillness and quiet and waiting and watching for all the signs and the wonders and the little miracles that are around all of us if we just have the sense to sit still and hush. In fact, my grandparents, they believed that if you had a child born on Old Christmas, when they grew up, they'd have the ability to heal the sick. And if you all go out to your barn at midnight on Old Christmas, you know what you're going to find the animals doing? You're going to find them kneeling, just like they did at the manger all those years ago. And if you keep bees, you're going to find that at midnight they all swarm out of the skeps. And they are going to buzz and buzz like it is a midsummer's day. And all your trees are going to leaf out, all your flowers are going to bloom, and the earth is alive. Until dawn, and the world is plunged back into darkness until spring. Boy, wouldn't that be a sight to see. That's Old Christmas. So with that, I will wish you a right mighty Old Christmas. Thank you.
We had a fantastic evening stepping back in time with the characters at the historic Daniel Boone home at Lindenwood Park. Special thanks to the St. Charles County Parks Department and all of the characters that bring history to life for the people of St. Charles County. Until next time, this is Kay and Matt from Happy Trails Hiking. Thanks for watching.